What's up, y'all? One Piece One Life here, and look, I already know what you're about to say. Your name literally has One Piece in it. All you do is One Piece content. Why the heck are you putting out a Naruto video? Well, here's the truth. I'm experimenting right now. I want to put out some non-One Piece content and see how it fares in comparison to my usual videos. And despite my heavy love and knowledge for One Piece, trust me when I say, there's a lot of other series that I have a fair amount of knowledge on. Most of all in that category is Naruto. But see, I'm not even trying to get into anything regarding power scaling or ranking, at least not yet. Instead, I want to try something different. And in that bid, I'm going to start a new series on the channel called Through Villainous Eyes, where I aim to look at the story through the point of view of a certain villain in the story and see whether the rationale for their actions makes sense. And also because when you put things in context for some of these guys, it's honestly kind of funny. So I thought, where better to start off than with the villain that is almost universally hated, Danzo. And I know, he's a madman. But let's see if we can't make his story make sense, or at least laugh at it. But before that, y'all, I need y'all to do something for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more, well, I guess Naruto content, or just anime content in general, like this every week. Ooh, that felt weird to say. And share it around with all your friends who love the series. You know what we always say here, let's get it going. Oh, and make sure you subscribe to me and my boys over at CSY. We just dropped our cipher and it's getting crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. I know everything that I said in the intro and stuff, but I'm not expecting, or hoping at least, that anyone will change their minds about Danzo. He is objectively a bad person, and he was purposely made that way. But the thing that you do have to understand about Danzo right out the gate is that he is a man who lived by the mantra, anything is justifiable as long as it truly feels like for the betterment of the Leaf Village. So imagine you're Danzo. You grew up in the Leaf Shimura clan, and during your academy days, your best friend and closest rival is a man who goes by the name of Hiruzen Sarutobi. All you really know about his clan is that they the people with the monkeys, but that's not important right now. Keep in mind, you're growing up in the very first iteration of Konoha, where Hashirama is the first Hokage and in his prime. So you're seeing wood style and just in general the strength of Hashirama on almost a daily basis. Growing up around this time also means that you're right in the middle of the first great ninja war. At some point during the war, you're teamed up with Team Tobirama, which your monkey rival is a part of. Tobirama himself is the second Hokage at this point. So you're on this mission, right? Everything's going smooth until suddenly you're surrounded by ninja from the hidden cloud village. And it became clear to all of you in that moment that one person would need to stay behind and sacrifice themselves as a decoy in order for everybody else to escape. Now at this moment, you're hesitating. You didn't want to do it because, well, you like your life. I don't know what y'all would be thinking about at this point, but if it was me, I'm thinking, why the hell should I die for y'all? What have y'all bums done for me? And also, I was told that the village currently attacking us is full of nothing but black people. I have yet to see a single black character in this entire cohort. Nay, this entire series. As you're busy grappling with the racial undertones of the Naruto ninja world, that's when your monkey rival raises his hand and says, don't worry y'all, I'll go. Everyone else can escape. I'm willing to make that sacrifice. And you're kind of there just sitting like, damn, couldn't be me, but you got it. But before you can say anything, Lord Second says that that plan is, well, utterly nonsensical. And as the Hokage, it's actually his job to ensure that everybody else gets to safety because something the future. However, before he goes, he turns to your rival and tells them that because of the force of will that he just demonstrated, he names him as his successor to be the third Hokage. And I'm not gonna lie, this is where your mental shatters. Because you see, you believe that you and your ideas are what's actually going to help make the village prosper. So you've been wanting to be Hokage for the longest time. So the fact that it was just stolen from you by the dude who you always battling it out with, it's just downright diabolical. And so at that moment, you decide to be diabolical back. You get back to the village and that's when you start plotting. You created the Root, its own subsection of the Anbu, specializing in clandestine operations. Entirely controlled by you, you start going around the village to scout young shinobi with talent to join your organization. And your recruitment process looks something a little like this. Yes, you are strong. Thanks. Who are you? That doesn't matter. Care to join my secret but not so secret service where all emotion will be purged from your being and we train in an underground lair? We also offer dental benefits. I'm in. And see, some people will call that grooming. You call that training. But that wasn't enough for you, so you decide to become a D1 manipulator. During the 3rd Great Ninja War, you went to Hanzo the Salamander of the Hidden Rain, undoubtedly one of the strongest shinobi of that time period, and showed him the dead bodies of his homeboys, who you say were killed by the leader of that rogue group, the Akatsuki. Now what really happened is that you sent some of your own boys from your secret service, dressed up as hidden stone shinobi, to go sabotage the developing peace treaty between the stone and the leaf. On their way there, they happened to be killed in a scuffle by Nagato of the Akatsuki. And instead of, giving them proper burials, you ordered for their corpses to be collected and dressed up as rain shinobi, so that you could go show it to Hanzo in an effort to try and join forces with him. But of course, because nothing is ever enough for you, you yourself also dress up as a hidden rain shinobi and go to the Akatsuki's front door talking about, yo, what's good? I'm actually Hanzo's advisor. And you tell them, oh yeah, y'all know Hanzo, right? Yeah, Hanzo the Salamander, the guy who's been killing millions. Yeah, I mean, he's really just a chill guy. And look, he wants to talk to y'all. Y'all should definitely pull up to our crib. And then you sit back and watch as they all pull up to Hanzo and they're all happy and everything. And Hanzo is just about ready to murder these children on account of your lies. That confrontation would lead to the death of Yahiko, the Akatsuki's original leader. Now, after successfully and needlessly pitting those two groups against each other, you feel vindicated. But because, of course, that wasn't enough for you, you also had dealings with Ninja Diddy. I mean, you see this guy, right? A power-hungry maniac, your monkey rival's pupil, who would go on to experiment on kids by giving them hickeys. Yeah, you don't rock with that. Sure, you may be abducting children from their homes and indoctrinating them into what may as well be considered a cult, but that's just training. This guy is a menace to society, and so of course, you have to partner up with him. With Orochimaru under your wing, you go to the Konoha orphanage to go and try and find some more talent. That's when you discover and recruit Kabuto into your fold. And then later on, when you realize that having Kabuto alive was way too risky, you ordered Orochimaru to go make sure that he's dead, but instead he kind of just offered him a job. But it's also important to note that Orochimaru was the person who surgically replaced your arm with the arm of Shin Uchiha, an arm that contained a multitude of Sharingan on it for reasons. And he also infused your body with Hashirama cells, both of which will become very important in a few years. Later on, your monkey rival was just like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of fighting. Let's make peace with all the other villages. And of course, you just can't have that, because that flies in the face of everything that the people who died before you stood for. Because you said this, Hiruzen actually realizes, you know what, you're right. So I'm gonna strive for peace, but in that bid, I'm also going to step down and I'm no longer going to be the Hokage. Of course, this was your plan all along, because now, with the Hokage seat open, you can actually pitch to try and get Orochimaru elected as the 4th Hokage, which would effectively give you rule over the village because Orochimaru is supposedly under you. But it doesn't work out that way. Why? Because everyone can tell that Orochimaru is a shady dude. And frankly, the fact that you can't tell that he's a shady dude is concerning for other people. So instead, they give the role to Minato Namikaze, a kid who you're not even sure is actually from this village. During the Nine Tails attack on the village, you feared and admittedly correctly assumed that it was the Uchiha's doing, and your voicing of this opinion is what ended up forcing these Uchiha to move and live on the outskirts of the village. Even with Minato dying though, you're still not able to take the Hokage place, because your monkey rival just steps up and takes it again. Like, can you believe this guy? Oh, let's also not forget, you also tell everybody that Naruto was the baby that the Nine Tails was sealed inside, and he's essentially a walking bomb just waiting to go off. Essentially rallying everyone in their hate for a literal one-day-old. But because, and I can't stress this enough, that wasn't enough for you, you wanted more. So you started plotting the death of your monkey rival. First, you go talk to the rising talent Kakashi Hatake, telling him that it was actually Hiruzen's fault that he couldn't save his sensei that night, essentially emotionally manipulating him into working for you and joining the route. You sent assassins to take care of old man Hiruzen, but it turns out that all of these were foiled because Kakashi snitched. As you decide you can only call him Ratake from now on, that's when your monkey rival comes to you and is like, "So, you tried to kill me, but I forgive you. We're good, brother." You were not good. After Orochimaru was found out by your rival and fled the village, you had to cut ties with him because that brother was crazy. Now a few years later, you're scouting yet another rising talent, Itachi Uchiha. However, at the same time, you get word that the Uchiha clan is planning a coup d'etat on the village. Keep in mind that it's your fault that they felt the need to do this because you making them out to be second-class citizens is what fostered all that hatred. Yet another bright young man, Shisui Uchiha, says, "Don't worry, I got a great plan. My Mangekyo Sharingan's ability is Koto Matsukami, which lets me unconsciously control their actions, so I'll pacify them and they won't even know it." But you think that he's gonna try to manipulate you as well. So, to eliminate that possibility, you steal Shisui's right eye, who, might I remind you, is still a child at this point, and plant it in your own eye socket, setting in motion a buildup of events that will eventually lead to him offing himself. Then, when your monkey rival is trying to be all diplomatic with you, Uchiha, that's when you say, "Screw that," and go and whisper in Itachi's ear, "Hey, you know what would really protect the village? The entirety of your clan being wiped out by you. Cause see, if y'all try to run a fade with the leaf, it's not gonna be pretty for y'all. You will get annihilated. However, not without cost, because the village will definitely take damage. So how about, in order to avoid the village taking damage, you just kill off every member of your family? I mean, look, we'll even spare your little brother. We'll leave him alone." And Itachi, that idiot, agreed, though he did promise to expose everything that you ever done if you even so much as touch a hair on his little brother's head. And boy, do you keep that promise. So then you just sit back, relax, and eat some popcorn while you watch the largest mass murder event in ninja history occur right in your backyard. Entirely your fault. Your monkey rival hears about what you've done, and he's dumbfounded. He removes you from your place on the Elders Council and even forces you to disband the root. But do you care? Who gives a damn what he orders? He's only the ninja president. So you continued running your now actually secret service on its operations, but you don't really do anything until Shippuden. You have Sai, one of your top emotionless Terminators, join the team with the walking bomb boy and Amy Rose if she was useless and didn't have a hammer. All for the express purpose of finding and killing Itachi's emo brother, who by this point had fled the village and was a rogue ninja. During Pain's invasion, the 5th Hokage, who, for a perplexing reason to you, is a woman, tells this one toad to go and get Naruto from his training at Mount Miyoboku. However, because you believe that doing that would be like serving the Nine Tails to the Akatsuki on a silver platter, you wait for everybody else to dip out of the room and then kill the toad, so you can add animal cruelty to your atrocities resume. Oh, and you also went to your underground lair and told everybody in your secret service, "Alright everyone, settle down. Yes, there is an invasion going on upstairs. Do not go and help any of them. I need that woman to get kicked out of the Hokage position. With any luck, she'll just die in the fight. But even if she doesn't, her allowing this to happen while in reign will be too crazy to allow her to continue leading." Sir? So I like that plan. It's a really great plan and everything, but, we also live here. Yeah, and also, if everyone dies, there isn't really much of a village left for you to rule. Yes, well, this is true. But they'll be fine. And then, in the aftermath of the destruction, finally, it is your time. With Tsunade in a coma, you are finally able to convince the Fire Daimyo to make you the 6th Hokage candidate. You're so close to power, you can smell it. You then get a letter summoning you to the 5 Kage Summit, where you can go and talk to the other leaders about the Akatsuki and Sasuke. The very first thing you do with power is set a kill on sight order for Itachi's emo brother. You also want to confine the walking bomb, but since he's a celebrity due to him saving the village, I guess, you have to just settle for having him being watched. So you go to the Land of Iron and the meeting starts. Around you, you see the first black man in your life, a lady so fine that you wish she was your wife, a former walking bomb from another village, and a geriatric who is somehow even older than you are. Now you start using Koto Matsukame from the eye that you stole from Shisui on the samurai leader who's leading the discussion. And you're having him say, "Well, I think that we should form a 5-village alliance and make Danzo the ruler." But the black man just gets angry and he accuses you of conspiring with Ninja Diddy to kill Hiruzen 3 years ago during the Konoha Crush. Of course, you start to deny it, but then a Miss Ninja who absolutely needs to kill their barber finds out that you're actually controlling the samurai. Things start to get bad, but that's when y'all get the message that, yo, emo brother is here. And of course, the angry black man stands up and rushes out of the room. So while the chaos ensues, you think that is a perfect time to dip, and you take you and your 2 guardians and y'all head out. However, on your way back to the Leaf, a mysterious masked man claiming to be the legendary Madara Uchiha himself shows up and then brings the emo little brother right to your location, who, reminder, has expressed multiple times his intent to kill you. And since it's inevitable, it's time to scrap. Now Sasuke seemingly manages to kill you or injure you over and over, but no matter what he's doing, you just keep coming back. That's when you reveal that all those eyes on your Shin Uchiha arm can each use Izanagi, a jutsu where you can essentially rewrite the world to however you like it. However, after a grueling battle, you're eventually tricked by the emo little brother into thinking that you have one more Izanagi eye than you actually do. You try a last-ditch effort to grab emo brother's shoddy, who also just happens to be there for reasons, threatening to kill her. But what you don't know is, Sasuke's even more tapped than you ever were. This brother shoots a lightning beam through his girl to stab your chest, and shortly after that, you die. And see, everything I just said, I really feel like it all could have been avoided if somebody just played Frozen's Let It Go to this man. So listen, Danzo 100% had his hands stirring a lot of devious pots, but he really did think that everything he was doing was for the betterment of the village in his own warped, twisted sense of security. Now, no one can look at Danzo's actions and say that he's a good guy. Never in a million years. But he does portray a really good foil to the usual Konoha leadership. And it makes us ask real questions for ourselves as well. Like, are there situations where perhaps that more extremist mindset ultimately proves to be more effective? But considering that he's the entire reason for Naruto growing up hated, the Shippuden Akatsuki in general, and the Uchiha clan massacre, yeah, Buddy needed to go. But y'all tell me, how did y'all feel walking through Danzo's life? What types of similar or different decisions would you have made if you were in his context? Let me know all that and more in the comments below. And also let me know if you like that I'm doing other content besides One Piece. The script of this one took a bit of time to make, but I actually have quite a lot of non-One Piece plans that I'm also starting to really like. So if you rock with this, definitely show the support. Now that is the end of the video, y'all, but before we go, like it, subscribe, and share it around with all your friends who love the series, or anime and manga in general. Remember, I'm trying to build a community, but I need your help to do it. That's gonna be all from me. I'll catch you on the next one, and always remember, Date Bayo!